So I did
Oh,
get
you
one
didn't.
question,
Yeah.
which was, is the higher self the computer, or is it the emotional body, or like what aspect of us is it?
Let me ask. That's a good question. Um, Ooh, my mind wants to get involved in that one. Okay. Um, they said there's 7 layers to our higher self, 7 aspects of our higher self, and depending on the level of the heavenly realms that we're existing on, based on our emotions, that's the higher self we're going to access. The complete and total higher self cannot enter into and unto the physical planes completely. You can ask yourself now, what percentage of me, of my higher self, is existing within me when it's at its fullest, like when my higher self is most completely aligned with me physically, how much of my higher self is existing within me, remembering that your higher self has created every single lifetime you've lived, every single soul that you've embodied, and other parallel lifetimes, as well as past, present, future lives, as well as other people's lives, because many of you share the same higher self. What you must begin to realize is the higher self at its fullest expanded level of self is you. The higher self, the smaller or more compact it gets, the more powerful it gets because it's less spread thin. So look at it like an atomic blast, or they're showing, like, those things where the blast goes off and it like vibrates, sends out like all those vibrations. They're showing the higher self at a solid still state in the middle, and that's the 0 point, pretty much, kind of like the 0 point, but not really. It's branched off from the 0 point, but that's your higher self at its full, complete, compact, compressed self, and then it expands out from there. So in the very, very center, it's kind of like it's like a blank space. There's nothing there. It's just whatever's thought will then vibrate through all the different layers of ourself. At the next layer out, it kind of becomes sort of like an emotional body, where it's going to pass through an emotional boundary or an emotional realm or emotional aspect of self and enter into our bodies to where we feel what the thought was that the higher self had. And then the next layer out is going to be more of like a mental egoic thing. The next layer out is more of like a void. Next layer out, and the next layer out. All the rest of the layers out are like a computer. So they're like already programmed thoughts, emotions, and feelings that are programmed into our subconscious mind to catch us from falling down further, or to make us think that we're a certain thing. For instance, when we get into, say, like meditation and spiritual stuff, and say we fall down into the astral planes and we start resonating with like spirit and stuff like that, we have like these programs or these tapes in the higher self that are out in these layers of us that are programmed into our subconscious mind that say, oh, you were a witch in a past life and you got killed. So this lifetime, you better not be a witch because then you're going to get killed. So it's like this like program that plays over and over and over in your mind. So you'll get fascinated with, oh, I was a witch. But then you'll be like, oh, that was so cool. Oh, that's so cool. I was a witch, So you'll go start looking at witch stuff when the whole purpose of it was to say like, hey, dude, you got killed last lifetime. Don't do it again this time, or whatever. So it's like we have these programs or these tapes that run in the they're saying that the not the hippocampus, the well, they're saying you can only reach them in hypnosis to change them, but the key is to not exist within them, but they do affect us. So you ask Sue which ones are the computer, and that's the subconscious and the unconscious mind are like computers, but anything that's conscious is emotional, mental, egoic, and it's full higher self, if that makes sense.